our first product demo of the day. Please welcome Julia Kichigina, Tom Fleming, and Carolyn Boyle to the stage for an in-depth look at our newest product release.
And welcome to AltoVita Summer Summit 2025. My name is Julia Kichigina. I'm a senior product manager at AltoVita, although right now I'm not. I'm a property provider owning AltoCore apartments with a lovely set of service departments in and around London.
Morning everyone, my name's Tom Fleming. I'm the Client Development Director for EMEA AltoVita. But today, Michael, I'm going to be the Global Mobility Manager for InnoWise, our fictional client for the sake of this demo. Hi, I'm Caroline Boyle. I'm a Product Manager at AltoVita, and I am playing the role of the AltoVitian, if you can tell. So I'm a Customer Success Manager for this demo. So, this is for me to introduce. We're going to show you AltoCore Fully Managed today. This is a live product, and it's a solution for clients who have enduring relationships with their property providers. So let's look at a quick video, and then we will demo the product in detail.
Do you have trusted property providers in multiple locations, but managing accommodation still feels chaotic? Too many systems, slow responses, no single source of truth, no data, no visibility. Then just when things seem to work, prices shift, availabilities change, special requests flood in, and suddenly, it's all a mess again. It's time to simplify, streamline, and take control. Meet AltoCore Fully Managed, your command center for accommodation supply chain management. With zero setup on your side, we'll onboard your preferred partners and manage your custom property list and negotiated prices. Keep working with suppliers you trust, while unlocking access to AltoVita's network of 7 million plus vetted stays. Booking is faster, sourcing is smarter. Your preferred properties are clearly marked with our signature badge. See who's behind every listing. No hidden fees, just fair negotiated rates. And your suppliers? Transparency too. They see your name, your terms, and feedback on every request. Plus, get powerful insights at your fingertips. Win rates, performance rankings, spend analysis. AltoCore Fully Managed. More control, less hassle, smarter, faster booking.
AltoCore Apartments have been a preferred property provider for the InnoWise Solutions Group for 2 years already. Based on the volumes we have managed, we have successfully negotiated better prices than just best available rates. Recently, Caroline kindly invited us to AltoCore and already had time to upload my property portfolio to the system. And you can see the evidence on the screen where I'm updating some of the property information so that my portfolio is full and up to date. Caroline, are our negotiated rates already uploaded to the system and ready to go?
Yeah, everything's in there. So we're ready to go with any of the clients that have you as your preferred provider.
Great, thank you. I'm wondering if we have any upcoming requests for London, Tom?
Funny you should say that. I actually happen to have someone going to London quite soon, so I'm going to log on and add that request now. So as we can see here, I'm just going to go through and select myself essentially, and add the little reference from my system, so I know later in the booking and for invoicing who has been booked, and then add the various details of the property, so where my office is and where there's people where they're going, how long they're going for, and so on and so forth. So how big of a property they need. We need some parking in this case as well, no pets this time, and a budget that we'd like to stick to. So this is obviously determined potentially by our policy or by the business unit. So we'll stick that in so that our preferred properties can see the budget and stick to that moving forward. Then the details of the traveller. So this case, John Doe is going to be going to London. And then a couple of other extras that will go over to my preferred suppliers, and I click save, and away it goes.
Perfect. So yeah, I can see here as the Customer Success Manager that Tom has sent through a request. So I'm going to find the best properties for this request. So I'm going to look at the closest options to the office here and
just go through all the property details quickly to make sure that it's got the right amenities, etc., that we need. I can, at the moment, I'm looking only at Innowise's preferred providers. So I can see that I've got some really good options for this request, so I don't need to go out to the furthest supply chain. Here, I'm looking at the options either through live availability if the provider connects it, or sending out a notification so that they can provide the availability and the best rates for the request. So I can see that the best options here look like they're Stay City and Julia's company, AltoCore. So I'm going to send off that, the little additional note so Julia knows exactly what would be the best properties. I've selected some, but she can obviously provide some other options if she thinks there's a better match.
So, as a property provider, I can see a new request from AltoVita or 7 Nerds from Caroline. Let's now review the details of the request. Here on this page, I can see that the request comes from Innovar Solutions Group. I can also see some other details of the request, like length of stay, check-in, check-out dates, unit type, budget requested. I also can see that it's a request for a pet-friendly property. The only thing I need to do is to shortlist the requested properties. The yellow badge on the property image identifies that this is a preferred property for the Innovar Solutions Group. It belongs to their preferred inventory list. At this very step of the bidding process, I can also see the negotiated rate for this very property. And if I try to put the price that exceeds the negotiated rate, I will be immediately notified and advised adjusting the price so that it's at or below the negotiated rate. Also, it's worth mentioning that the process is very fast and easy, and especially for the properties that are already in the system and the ones that have previous submissions. The only thing that I, as a property provider, need to do is to click on autofill button. You'll be able to see it on the screen later on. Let's see how it looks like. Shortlisting, and click on autofill button. And at this very point, the form will be pre-populated with the details from the previous submission. All I need to do is to review the request, review these details, update them if required, in this example for a pet-friendly property, and save it to the shortlist. Now I have 3 shortlisted options, and I'm ready to send them back to AltoVita for Caroline's review. Caroline, were you notified about my submission?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got the notification that we've got some options here to review for the request. I've got the details of the request there just to remind me. And I'm going to have a look at this comparison view and check that all the details of the properties are what I'm looking for. I'm checking for policy compliance here. I work with Tom really closely. I know that the key thing for Innowise is the distance to the office. And of course, I've got all their budgets, so I can see if, although the property providers have the negotiated rates, they have the details of the budget, maybe they wanted to offer something else, on the off chance there wasn't enough options. So I can see that, I can see the commute time, and I'm just going to take this property out. It's a little bit too far, I've got some better options. So this is where I'm curating. I understand the client's needs, and make sure that everything is policy compliant. We've got the needs of the request. It's pet friendly here, and so everything looks good. I think I'm going to send these over to Tom. For some of my accounts, I would send this directly off to the employee. Now that I know that it's within policy, within budget, there's no exceptions needed. But in this case, Tom wants to have a quick review and handle the communication with his employee, John.
Yeah, super. So I've just received my notification that I have got some curated options to review for John, who's going to be travelling. So similar to Caroline, I have the review page as well, and I can kind of see all the details from the commute times, price, even the CO2 CO2 impacts for each of the options, which is super helpful. So looking at these, I'm going to go through. I'm going to be a little bit more stringent than Caroline was on the budget. I can see this one, although it's only £5 a night over, I'm going to get rid of that because actually we have some good options that are within my budget. I can also see that one was added a bit later, so if we've kind of needed to go back with a couple of questions, I can see the additional things being sourced. And I've got a couple of options of how I can share this with my employees. So if I'm already maybe in a Slack conversation, I can just copy the link and send it over to them. So now looking at John reviewing the options. So he gets this very nice map feature, all linked to Google Maps, so you can see kind of what's around and get a bit of a feel for the area. If he's looking at maybe where a school or partner's office or school for his kids are going to be located, or just a point of interest that he would like to visit in comparison to where his accommodation is, I can put that into the map as well, and it will update the commute time. So super helpful in making a decision of where you want to be located in your temporary accommodation. So John's now having a quick look through the property details, getting a bit more information. That one looks quite nice. We'll check out the other ones as well, just to make sure we're choosing the best option for us. This one looks quite nice, so we'll click on, go back and have a look at the third one. Give it a second to load up, and we'll have a look through some of these high-resolution images to get a good feel for the inside of the property, make sure it is kind of to our liking. This one looks quite nice. But I think we might go back and choose another option, but we'll definitely keep this one in mind. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to go back to this option. This one looks like the one I'd like to go for. So we've got John's details kind of pre-filled in from the initial request, but I did quite like the wild one. So just in case my first choice isn't available, I'm going to select wild as my second choice, and then the other one as a third choice, just in case. As I said, it's taken me a couple of days to review this because I was away initially, so this just helps speed things up in case the first one isn't available anymore. And then that goes back over to AltoVita. Super. So now AltoVita have made our booking. I'm back in the InnoY Solutions global mobility role. So here I'm kind of reviewing all the bookings data, but I can also see out of the bookings I've had historically, the percentage of ones that have been with my preferred inventory, all the kind of usual booking stats, my kind of overall overview of my accommodation program, bookings and spend and so forth. In the top list, I can view basically the stats for my preferred providers, or ultimately AltoVita network providers if they've also been booked. I can have a quick overview of that, which is super helpful in case I need to report back to other kind of stakeholders within the business. If there have been any escalations, these are all kind of clearly detailed here. I have a quick overview. I'm going to have a quick look at that later, so I'll just download that for now and having a more in-depth review later on. And then going into our eco-stats. So again, for our own sustainability reporting, we also need to log our impacts for our own reporting. So this is where all of that is housed, and I can also get a bit of real world comparisons of how much that impact relates to if I'm speaking to colleagues or other stakeholders when going through this. So so super helpful having this real time data for my program.
Perfect. So this is just showing now, Julia, I don't know if you've seen on the platform, you've obviously been there to look at, to bid for requests. Have you seen all the analytics?
Just a little bit. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time. You know, it's a hard season. Sorry. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to review it. You know, it's a hard season, but...
Well, just to show a little bit of what we do, everything that when I was selecting the properties to send through, I made sure that I selected the reasons why they're not, your properties wouldn't be selected. So you can see that analysis of the selection reasons. You can see all of the other sort of key stats of the request to bookings, your conversion rate, and all that key data just to help you maximize your business with AltoVita and the clients that you service.
Yeah, thank you, Caroline. Looks insightful, and make sure to explore it in more detail.
Yeah, so we've also got a few kind of comments and a bit of data that we've compiled from actually some existing clients that are already using AltoCore. As we can see here, probably the one that will interest most people is a 90% reduction in the kind of turnaround time from submitting a request to actually getting a quote out from those using AltoCore versus versus using a legacy system. It's always nice as well that actually the employees using the system have also been super happy. Thankfully, can report 100%. It's hard to beat 100%. And also then from this particular client, since they've gone live with AltoCore, we've had a 92% kind of uptake from their teams using it. So there's a kind of few exceptional situations within there, but we still feel that's a really strong uptake in a relatively short period of time. And I'm not going to kind of read out all the comments, but it's nice to always obviously receive some positive comments through our surveys as well. So yeah, some really positive client feedback from AltoCore so far. I think it's a testament to the work the product team have put into it.
Now let's review the feedback from the preferred property providers from my colleagues. The preferred property providers' satisfaction score is unbelievably high at 100%. So Mara Silva, the global account manager from Oasis, thinks that the system is very easy to use and very intuitive. Robbie Carver, VP of Client Services from CWS Corporate Housing, says that the bidding process is fantastic once the property is built and very easy. And honestly, I cannot agree more based on my experience with AltoCore. At this very point, I'm excited to transition from being property owner, though I like that role, to being back to AltoVita and to my role as a product manager. This product feels like a baby, truly feels like a baby, and I'm eager to share with you its future roadmap. We constantly collect client feedback, and based on this feedback and also on the insights from their Summer Summit workshop back in April, we are committed to evolving the product and developing self-management of preferred lease, match criteria, flagging properties that exceed budget. That will be, of course, part of the match criteria, but also we want to have it as a separate feature. In-app chat, property providers extended analytics, and not limited to that. So thank you for your attention. If you have any questions on the product, feel free to reach out to Caroline, Tom, or me throughout the day. Also, if you are interested, into this product, please scan this QR code and leave your feedback, ask a question, or request an individual demo. Thank you for your attention and have a great day.
Super.